Somebody call the doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the Appleton Oak. This is the answer. I'm Mason Quinn.
That's Middle Earth.
That's Middle Earth behind me. Thanks, Answer. You know, I'm a little sad, guys. I was thinking about it on the way over. This might very well be Bad Medicine's last trip to Middle Earth.
Oh, man.
And it's been an awesome ride with you guys. And I can't wait to see your reactions on the last one.
An awesome ride. It has been a fun ride,
all joking aside.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy just, put me over the moon on this whole story, this whole world of elves and hobbitses and stuff like that.
That's his phrase, the pace.
And, I felt very much like the first two Hobbits were good movies. The first one kind of felt like the first Lord of the Rings, where it's like a building story. And the second one, more action, wild, like scenes with Smaug and his treasure mountain cave and all the wild stuff. And of course they left us with that like monumental cliffhanger. I mean, look, anytime there's movies are planned in, it's planned sequentially where, it's already known ahead of time. Yeah, they leave cliffhangers. This one was huge, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how it all ties up before it goes into, the original, like seeing what happens with all their main characters, their main hobbitses and everything else, and how the elves, how they kind of work together with the dwarfs, see how they defend against, he looks pissed on his way to town.
He was angry.
Yes, he was.
They doused him in smoldering hot gold.
And again,
he just shook it off.
Shook it off like nothing.
All it did was make him angry.
Yep, just made him mad. So again, guys, I have seen this before. Big fan. These guys have not. I can't wait to take the ride with you. So, Andrew?
Well, let's go!
All right, guys, we're going to be getting to Battle of the Five Armies in just a moment. We pre-recorded that a few weeks ago, but this last weekend, I had an opportunity to head down to Fan Expo in Chicago with my brother and my two nephews. Now, you guys have heard me talk throughout all of the Lord of the Rings reactions and through these Hobbit reactions how big of fans my brothers and their kids were. Well, we had a super unique opportunity. All four of the Hobbits, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Billy Boyd, and Dominic Monaghan, all together. Now, from what I understand, getting the four together in the same place at the same Comic-Con, it's been pretty rare over the last handful of years, so this was a must-see for us. And I really just wanted to take a moment. We went through this Lord of the Rings journey, and we're going through this Hobbit journey, and it was such a special time for my brother and his boys to go down there and meet these guys. And I really just wanted to take a moment to say how awesome these four gentlemen were. They're at a fan expo, so they're going to be nice, right? They're getting paid to be there. They're going to say, hi, how you doing? But for three guys, my brother and his two sons, who absolutely adore these four gentlemen, this was such a special experience. Elijah Wood was great. Sean Astin, he sat there and asked my brother and his kids all kinds of questions and really made them feel special. Billy Boyd actually spent about 5 minutes talking with me about working out, just a real casual. We went to meet Dominic a little bit later. My nephew Marcus had 3 Smeagol dolls in his backpack. Dominic commented, oh, hey, look at how many Smeagol's you got. And then a couple hours later, after we got done with the autographs, they did a group photo. My nephew walked in, and Dominic was like, hey, it's the kid with all the Smeagol dolls. And, for as much bad press as so many celebrities get, it's, I just really wanted to take a moment, and I think you guys can tell in my voice the sincerity, to really just say how awesome it was that 4 guys that are just really legends in the world of acting for fans of Lord of the Rings took the time and were just that great to their fans. And I have to say, if you guys have an opportunity to check them out at a Comic-Con, again, this was Fan Expo. They're going to be happening all over the country. Again, from what I understand, getting the 4 of them together is pretty difficult, but I did hear from a podcast with Billy and Dominic that the 4 of them are going to be together a handful of times throughout the course of the year. So if you get an opportunity, make sure to head to your Fan Expo or Comic-Con or whatever it is where you have an opportunity to meet these guys. It was such a special time for myself and my brother and his nephews. And again, we're wrapping up this Lord of the Rings and Hobbit journey, and this was great timing. And I just really, really felt like I should send a shout out to these four gentlemen for being the ultimate professionals and for being true heroes to their fans.
Oh God, the excitement in the theater for this must have been just
like, get to Smaug already.
Like, we already know who does the production and everything.
we know all this already.
Get to Rivendell.
Okay, are they going to? The big question is: are they going to just pick up where they left off? Or are they going to tease us?
They're gonna do a whole backstory on the dragon for a little bit.
Oh boy!
Right where we left off.
They've woken the dragon! They've brought an apocalypse upon our heads!
Oh boy!
Oh, you know what's coming.
We must leave.
Get him up! Come on, brother! Come on, let's go! You hear me?
Hurry!
Keely, come on!
What's to say he's not just going to do a flyby with the boats and just that's that?
Well, worst case, you dive in the water and he just heats up the water.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no, this is real bad. Oh no.
That was one pass. This guy trying to save all his gold.
But they're hardly worth it. I quite agree.
These guys.
We're carrying too much weight. I can't help it.
I saw that
Dumped
coming.
his homeboy. Oh, and oh my God, pretty brilliant if you ask me.
Wonder if he'll get that off or if they'll come back into play.
I mean,
hope
the
it
reality is this whole lake city is ruined. So right now, you just try to save your family. It's what's done is done at this point. I thought maybe
Well,
they were going to get out the arrow and the black arrow and the thing on the roof, but no, that's
calm down. You're being like
dude.
Diamond Data, like calling
the
all
whole city's on fire. Even if they
Easy.
take him out right now, it's done.
Just chill. Don't be a negative Nancy over there.
Oh, I'm just watching the whole city burn.
Knowing that they did that. God, it's still going. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say. That bell.
He hit it!
These arrows cannot pierce its hide.
He knows. The kid knows.
Yeah. Oh, he's remembering the story. So the fate of the entire town is resting on a 12-year-old boy at this point.
Not just a 12-year-old boy. A 12-year-old boy shooting an arrow at a moving target that has to hit where one of its scales is previously removed.
Yeah, well, he has to get it to his dad. Yeah.
Thane, what are you doing? Why didn't you leave? You were supposed to leave.
I came to help you.
No! Nothing can stop it, no.
Oh, look at that thing! Look at the black arrow!
He knew he had to do the reveal.
I got goosebumps.
He was like the mother picking up the car right there.
Who are you that would stand against me? Now that is pity.
No.
Is that your child? He will burn.
Didn't you ever have a kid?
You're gonna aim like that? Oh my God.
Stay still, son. Stay still.
How now shall you challenge me?
There it is.
There's the spot.
You look at me. Little to your left.
Oh my God. What if he all of a sudden sneezed? Like just.
Holy shit.
Oh.
He got it.
Oh, down he goes.
Oh, okay, into the water.
Whoa.
Dude.
Good. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I like.
right on, dude.
It's dead. Smaug is dead. The ravens of Erebor are returning to the mountain.
Yeah, they wouldn't come back, right? Because
Yep.
of the Smaug being there.
Yeah, what a hot start.
They eradicated him pretty quick, huh? Didn't waste any time getting into that.
No.
Like, I was wondering if it was going to be like the end of the film, final thing, but I guess not.
You are not alone.
No, quite the opposite.
Yeah, they just do it right off the bat.
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
He made it.
Oh my
Why me?
God.
He's alive. He's alive, yelling, "Why me?"
Yeah,
Come
hey,
on,
you could have
dude.
been on the boat with your master,
Yeah.
They are your people. You must go.
but he wants
Come with
you.
me.
Yeah, it's,
I know how I feel. I'm not afraid. You make me feel alive.
ooh, 30 minutes is what he said, right? That's all they spent together before she fixed him.
I don't know what that means.
I think you do.
She's playing hard to get, Kitty.
Whole city just got torched. Homeboys trying to trying to.
We need to repopulate.
What do we know?
Oh, what a...
Oh, now they can.
I like the
I
better
think-
in Lord of the Rings.
Well, he's coming of age,
Don't let her leave, dude. You'll regret it. What if he told her that she was his density? It's like the old "hold on to this for me. I expect it back." Yeah,
Back for it.
classic.
In the absence of the master, the power cedes to his deputy, which in this instance is my good self. Now give me that blanket!
Maybe that can be arranged.
Oh,
There he is.
yeah.
You'll turn him on your own, Alfred.
Come here!
Yeah, I'm alive. I
he's-
kind of
that's-
took out the dragon.
Yeah,
No big deal.
Yeah, your son kind of helped, but it was all me.
Shot him dead with the black arrow!
He's a legend now.
I have said it many times. This is a man of noble stock.
You're the one that put him in jail.
I'm not the master of this town. Where is he?
You would know. You helped him empty the treasury.
No. Look around you. Have you not had your fill of death? Those who can stand, tend to the wounded. And those who have strength left, follow me. We must salvage what we can.
You need to leave. We all need to leave.
We only just got here.
I've tried talking to him, but he won't listen.
What do you mean, laddie?
Thorin! He's been down there for days. He doesn't sleep. He barely eats. He's not been himself. Not at all. It's this place.
Greed. Same thing that got his grandpa.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Same sickness.
Gold. Gold beyond measure. Beyond sorrow. Welcome, my sister's sons, to the kingdom of Erebor.
Okay,
I mean, that's great, but
I have so many questions right now. Like, how do you protect that much gold? You'd
Well, and it's just them now, too.
You'd need 10 armies to protect that much gold.
Keep searching. The Arkenstone is in these holes.
If only to see Oakenshield suffer. Watch it destroy him. Watch it corrupt his heart.
See, he knows already that he can see it already.
we never saw that.
So he has it. Wow.
Your bit of gold. What gold is in that mountain is cursed. We will take only what was promised to us. Only what we need to rebuild our lives.
Maybe get you a razor for that eyebrow.
Old lady tells her to pull her weight.
Others will now look to the mountain. For its wealth. It's what I fear may come.
Oh, they're already marching on it. Look at this. Oh, no.
Oh, he's the only one that gets a horse. Why does somebody have to walk?
He's the leader.
Was it a horse or was it more of a dog?
Warg.
Warg. Excuse me.
These orcs were different from the others. They bore a mark I have not seen for a long time. The mark of Gundabad.
Jelaine, Winiath, or Adalin. Edlennen, Tauria.
Edlennen.
Ooh, banished.
Wow.
You may tell my father, if there is no place for Tauria, there is no place for me.
It is your king's command.
Maloganinasni. I ride north. Will you come with me?
To where?
To Gundabad.
This is a little weird of a love triangle. So the dwarf is in love with her, and he's in love with her.
She can't choose, right?
Well, I think she's clearly, I think, got stronger feelings for the dwarf, but she also is reserving her feelings for him, knowing that he's not supposed to marry her. His dad's like, oh, she's not like of noble, like royal blood, which is whatever. That's what you think.
Bye.
Well, yeah.
Look at this guy. Yeah, she's...
just picks him up.
So she just picks him up and is carrying him?
She's got some power.
9 for mortal men doomed to die.
Now she's afraid?
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Mr. Anderson.
You should have stayed dead.
See how they come like this better.
It's nice to see him helping out.
Yeah.
The darkness has returned.
Ah, there's the rabbits.
Climb on!
Come with me, my lady.
Between 3 Lord of the Rings, 8 Harry Potters, and 3 Hobbits, I'm 14 movies deep into dark forces trying to ruin the world, and frankly, I'm a little sick of it. I just want the good guys to win, kick some ass.
Yep. Now they're all seeing it finally. See, now we actually see him as a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she doesn't like that.
You have no power.
That's the
You have no power in your meme. Yes. This is getting pretty heavy. I don't mean to laugh at like such a serious moment, but you have no power to your memes. Oh, sorry.
Sometimes we just need to pause the camera.
I am who I am. Just love me.
The spirit of Sauron endured.
And has been banished.
Gondor should be warned.
Look after the Lady Galadriel. Leave Sauron to me.
Know this. If anyone should find it and withhold it from me, I will be avenged.
That's your cue there, Mr. Baggins.
Dragon sickness. I've seen it before. That look. The terrible need. It sent his grandfather mad.
If Thorin had the Arkenstone, or if it was found, would it help?
No, lad. I fear it would make him worse.
What is that?
It's nothing.
Show me.
I picked it up in Bael's garden.
Go this way.
going to plant it in my garden, in Bag End.
Survivors in Lake Town. They're streaming into Dale.
Call everyone to the gate.
The company of Thorin Oakenshield survived.
Survived?
You mean there's a bunch of dwarves in there with all that gold? Take the night watch.
I wouldn't trust him doing the night watch either. What are you doing? Don't give him responsibilities.
I wouldn't trust that guy to watch anything.
People of Lake Town have nothing. They came to us in need. They have lost everything. Do not tell me what they have lost. More stone.
So the people that were there, like during the whole,
Yeah, see,
Should be the
Bilbo
one-
knows
should be-
already,
should
like,
stop.
dude cannot have that stone. Another very clear theme of power corrupting an otherwise
Absolutely.
like good individual.
Very good man, yeah. Or dwarf.
We did not look to see you here.
I heard you needed aid.
Ah, well, look at the elves.
I did not come on your behalf. I came to reclaim something of mine.
Oh, that's right. You tried to make that deal with them.
There are gems in the mountain that I too desire.
Please, wait! You would go to war over a handful of gems?
The heirlooms of my people are not lightly forsaken. You
It
will
would-
try to reason with the dwarf.
It would seem as if your people really don't have the resources to be waging battle.
Hail, Thorin, son of Thrain! We are glad to find you alive beyond hope.
Why do you come to the gates of the king under the mountain armed for war?
Why does the king under the mountain fence himself in?
Expecting to be robbed?
We have not come to rob you, but to seek fair settlement. Will you not speak with me?
I'm listening.
Oh, what a, you know what?
I ask that you honor your pledge. A share of the treasure so that they might rebuild their lives.
I will not treat with any man. An armed host lies before my door.
That armed host will attack this mountain if we do not come to terms.
Words do not sway me.
I hate. Am I the only one who really doesn't like this guy anymore?
I think you're supposed to.
My people offered you help. And in return, you brought upon them only ruin and death.
What choice do we have but to barter our birthright for blankets and food?
Such terms. Because you gave us your word. Does that mean nothing?
Can't even talk to him face to face. He's gonna talk to him through a hole in the wall.
Be gone! Here our arrows fly!
You cannot go to war. Excuse me, but just in case you haven't noticed, there is an army of elves out there. Not to mention several hundred angry fishermen. We are, in fact, outnumbered.
Much longer.
What does that mean?
It means, Master Baggins, never underestimate dwarves.
We have reclaimed Erebor. Now, we defend it.
Why would he risk war?
Is that going to take out the bridge?
Keep us to reason with them. They understand only one thing. We attack at dawn.
Master Baggins, come here.
You're going to need this. Put it on. This vest is made of silver steel. It was caught by my forebears. No blade can pierce it.
Or you can still lose an arm. This won't take any fatal torso shots.
Arkenstone. One of them has taken it.
Oh, now he's turning on his boys.
One of them is false.
The quest is fulfilled. You've won the mountain. Is that not enough? You made a promise to the people of Lake Town. Is this treasure truly worth more than your honor, our honor? Thorin, I was also there. I gave my word.
For that I am grateful. It was nobly done. But the treasure in this mountain does not belong to the people of Lake Town. This gold is ours.
Oh, you can tell
He's doing the look through the eyebrow thing.
Yeah.
You always know that's the mark of an evil person.
Gundabad. What lies beyond?
An old enemy. The ancient kingdom of Angmar. This fortress was once its stronghold. It is where they kept their great armories. My mother died there. My father does not speak of it. There is no grave. No memory. Let me through!
Hey, there we go. Come on.
Somebody to talk some sense.
Yeah, I was just gonna say somebody to talk some sense into him. Maybe use a spell to break the gold spell on what's his face, Thorin. I don't even want to call him by his name anymore.
You! Pointy act! Off you go. On your horse.
Who's in charge here?
Who's asking?
War is coming. The cesspits of Dol Guldur have been emptied. You're all in mortal danger. Armies of orcs are on the move. These are fighters. They have been bred for war. Our enemy has summoned his full strength. Not just for the treasure within, but for where it lies. Strategic position. That fell kingdom should rise again. Rivendell, Lorien, the Shire. Even Gondor itself will fall.
Earth Eaters?
Oh, no.
What the hell's an Earth Eater?
These bats are bred for one purpose. For war.
It's not a small army.
No, it's just pouring out of there.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the halfling who stole the keys to...
Wow.
Sorry about that. To give you this.
It's giving that to the elves?
Oh, don't give him the Arkenstone.
Were the king's ransom. I know that dwarves can be obstinate, pig-headed, and difficult, with the worst manners you can possibly imagine, but they are also brave and kind, and loyal to a fault. And I would save them if I can.
Rest up tonight. You must leave on the morrow. What? Get as far away from here as possible.
On the morrow. That's tomorrow in layperson terms.
I'm not afraid of Thorin.
You should be. Don't underestimate the evil of gold. Keep an eye on him. If you try to leave, you tell me.
Well, remember, nothing gets past him.
No,
except for
nothing.
a whole army.
I will put the next one between your eyes.
Oh, well.
Payment of your debt has been offered and accepted.
Oh, is he gonna do it?
No.
He made Bear hold it?
Made Bard do it?
This or Bard?
Yeah.
King may have it. Now, goodwill. First, he must honor his word. The Arkenstone is in this mountain. It is a trick.
It's no trick. The stone is real. I gave it to them.
Oh boy.
I took it as my 14th share.
You would steal from me.
Steal from you? No. No. I may be a burglar, but I like to think I'm an honest one. The dwarf I met in Bag End would never have gone back on his word.
Throw him from the rampart!
They're not going to do it.
Did you not hear me?
Oh, now he realizes who's wrong.
You! My burglar! Then please, don't damage him. Return him to me. Thorin's cousin.
What are they alike?
I've always found Thorin the more reasonable of the two.
Oh,
boy.
Whoops.
Would you consider just starting off?
Billy Connolly.
Come now, Lord Den.
Tell this rabble to leave, or I'll water the ground with their blood.
No need for war between dwarves, men, and elves. Stand your army down.
I will not stand down before any elf. Faithless woodland sprite chooses to stand between me and my kin. I'll split his pretty head open.
Oh, their shields are badass.
They are.
We're worms.
basically, yeah, tremors. Andrew, you were spot on. What we need.
Oh, come on.
We to do nothing. I said, stand down.
Oh no!
This is madness.
And the orcs aren't going to stop and like try to have a negotiation, are they?
No,
They just go.
No, they're bred for war.
There.
Holy shit!
That is badass.
Sure, dog. Sure, a boo.
Johan, please cause trouble. He's trying to cut us off.
Oh, these things.
All back to death!
What if they mistimed it and just went right into the face?
Just knocks itself out.
He's good for one shot. That's all you get.
Make it count.
Jesus.
My children! Where are my children?
I saw them! They were down in the old market!
Oh, Jesus.
Oh! What a win!
Boom!
Must not come out for any reason.
I want to stay with you.
Show your father some respect. You leave it to me, sire. You heard him. We make for the Great Hall.
Why does he keep giving him responsibilities?
He's got nobody else. That thing is cleaning house. Oh!
What?
Oh no. Oh, dude's only been training for like 1,000 years, right?
Yep.
Get here! Holy shit.
Since when do we forsake our own people? Thorin, they are dying out there.
We must move the gold further underground to safety.
Did you not hear me? Dane is surrounded. They'll be slaughtered, Thorin.
Many die in war. Life is cheap. Treasure such as this cannot be counted in lives lost.
I think literally what you're trying to say is the exact opposite of what you just said. You can't count lives and money and gold. Literally the exact opposite. Oh, called him out on it.
Yeah.
I will still Oakenshield.
I am your king!
You were always my king.
You cannot see what you have become.
At least he's got one friend to call him out. Well, Bilbo too.
Yeah.
Get out before I kill you.
Boy, that sickness has just got him.
You are less a girl than you have ever been.
Sickness lies upon that treasure.
Might ambition of a mountain king.
I'm not the king!
Cisco.
Take back your homeland.
That's all that's left of the dwarves is right there. Oh no.
I will not hide behind a wall of stone while others fight our battles for us!
We are sons of Durin. Do not flee from a fight.
There we go.
That is one handsome dwarf.
All right, yeah, calm down. We all know.
Solid.
And a giant bell?
Metallica.
Home the bells toll. Look as his hair is just flapping.
What is it they are driving?
I say we stand with our men in life.
Oh,
and in
shit.
death.
No, no, no. You leave an old woman first.
Don't be afraid.
That's the get him!
You are a coward.
Coward? Not every man's brave enough to wear a corset.
We're going to take out their leader.
If you wanted to run through something, that's what I would have. An armored ram.
Just hold
Yeah, you
the
bring
F
up a good
on.
point. Just put your head down and go.
There is the second army. Bold leads a force of Gundabad orcs. They are almost upon us.
Gundabad, Raven.
Already up there. And Philly and Killy, they're all up there.
Oh, shit.
Love will make you do crazy things, man. Love will make you do crazy things.
It looks empty. I think Azog has fled.
We have company. Goblin mercenaries.
Goblin mercenaries.
Oh, this guy's not going to take it well.
Recall your company.
Dispatch this force to Ravenhill. The dwarves are about to be overrun. Thorin must be warned.
By all means, warn him. I've spent enough elvish blood in defense of this accursed land.
I'll go.
Don't be ridiculous. You'll never make it.
Why not?
Because they will see you coming and kill you.
You will not turn away.
Get out of my way.
The dwarves will be slaughtered.
Yes, they will die.
You think your life is worth more than theirs, when there is no love in it. There is no love in you.
Those are pretty thick arrows, aren't they?
What do you know of love? What you feel for that dwarf is not real.
Where's my homie Orlando?
He had microphone.
What? What?
Good timing there. Good timing there, Ao.
What?
Yeah.
Thorin, you have to leave here. Now. Azog has another army attacking from the north. This watchtower will be completely surrounded. There'll be no way out. We are so close. That orc scum is in there. I say we push on. No. He wants to draw us in.
Aha.
Being level-headed.
Find Philly and Killy. Call them back.
Thorin, are you sure about that?
Do it.
All be Arkenstone.
No, don't. I just knew that was coming. That he was gonna do a little something special.
That seems pretty risky right there, but that upside down shot. Oh, okay. Thanks for the ride. Oh.
There's
He's
a
fast
boy.
with that
He
bow,
is.
isn't he?
He is fast. Oh.
Not today,
Not
buddy.
today, Junior.
Not today. Oh. What? Oh, what? Oh, no. Both the brothers. Well, you only got one thing that you can do now. You got to get up.
You got to make it right.
No, don't put your head down. Get up. Finish it. Oh, she took him down with her. headshot. Oh no.
Out.
Okay, well, we want to make sure that doesn't fall on her either.
No, he didn't want it to fall on her. Or on him either. No risk it, no biscuit.
Hey. Oh, right in the chest.
That's also
Mind your
not
surroundings.
Good. Oh, God. Okay. You know what? Let's just go with it.
He's an elf.
Whatever. He's an elf.
He's got like 19 dexterity.
19? Can you even get? Isn't 18 the highest?
Yes! Oh, the big finish.
The frost makes the blades stick. Wait, what? Again? Again? Yes! Again!
Ragged-ass.
These aren't the eagles, though. These are like falcons or hawks.
He said to bring all the beasts and our friends and the animals and that guy.
Eagles.
No.
Is this how he goes out? He just slips into the water after all that? Oh, dude, it's going to be hard to swim with all that armor on. He wants to... I don't trust any of this. Just going to pull the old eyes. Yeah, there you go. Oh! Right through the foot! I'm surprised the force isn't pushing him down through the ice. Oh!
Ooh. We don't know. He could have been wearing that steel thing. Yeah, right there, right?
Oh, does he got the vest on that a blade can't pierce?
Bilbo.
Yeah, he definitely...
Come on, lie still. I'm glad you're here. I wish to part from you in friendship. No. I will take back my word and my deed to the gate. You did what only a true friend would do. Forgive me.
It is far more than any Baggins deserves.
Farewell, Master Burglar. Go back to your books. And your armchair. If more people valued home above gold, this world would be a merry place. The eagles are here. Thorin.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was a tough last 20 minutes.
I cannot go back.
Where will you go?
I do not know.
Go north. Find the Dunedain. There's a young ranger amongst them. You should meet him.
There's a little tease for us.
Your mother loved you more than anyone.
Dad's not going to tell him that he loves him before he bails?
They want to bury him. Why does it hurt so much?
Because it was real.
That's how you know.
Thorin Oakenshield will pass into legend.
He was... Well, I think I'll slip quietly away. Will you tell the others I said goodbye?
You can tell them yourself.
If any of you are ever passing Bag End, tea is at 4. Don't bother knocking.
Okay, could he get a ride from one of the Eagles back home?
Oh, come on. Get off the Eagles.
That's going to be a long walk, to be fair.
Just back home.
Yeah, well, it's there and back again.
They're
For
not
safety.
a taxi service.
They're just there to save the day.
Yeah.
That's right. He's riding with Bill, or again.
He's got to
And it's not like they have to run or hide or anything from anything on those. So
Yeah,
it's nice.
things are good.
See, look, they can see the local agriculture.
I quite like having a wizard around. Seems they bring good luck.
Well.
Magic rings should not be used lightly.
He knew.
Don't take me for a fool.
Oh.
Goblin tunnels.
He knew the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows he's good at heart, so he's not going to freak out about him having the ring.
Yep, at least for a while, it's in safe hands.
Fell out of my pocket during the battle. I lost it.
You're a very fine person, Mr. Baggins. But you're only quite a little fellow in a wide world, after all.
Yeah, think about that.
So Gandalf knows it's a magic ring, but he doesn't know for 100% that it's the One Ring. He doesn't find that out until they burn it in the paper and read it in
The One
Fellowship.
Ring to rule them all.
Yeah, that's when they find
One Ring.
Hey, welcome home.
Life's so much easier here. There's food everywhere, wherever you want.
Stop! There's been a mistake. Who are you? Who am I? You know perfectly well who I am, Lobelia Sackville Baggins. This is my home.
The old Sackville Baggins.
Yeah.
Can you prove it?
Of employment as a... but never mind as what.
Not as a burglar.
Who is this person you pledged your service to? Thorin Oakenshield.
He was my friend.
All right.
Oh, they
man.
cleared the place
Ransacked
right out.
everything.
His parents, mom and dad.
Oh, yeah, it fell out during battle and all.
Ooh, that look he gave it.
Those pockets, though, I gotta get something like that. Nothing ever falls out of those.
No.
No, thank you. We don't want any more visitors, well-wishers, or distant relations.
What about very old friends?
Is that what I think it is?
Oh, God.
No, a little different. Never mind.
Different, I mean.
Ah, it's the mountain. It's the Lonely Mountain.
Yep.
There we go. Wow.
The epic conclusion. Wow.
There we
All
go.
right, guys. There we go. The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies.
Wow.
All of Middle-earth is wrapped up for my my two compatriots here, I guess you would say.
Compatriots?
Compadres? Something like
Just
that.
making
but-
up words.
You are.
Making up words.
He's a little emotional right
A little
now.
bit. You know what?
Epic journey.
I can't say enough about these movies and the job that, Peter Jackson and the whole crew did on them. The actors in them were incredible. I mean, as a kid growing up, you're reading this stuff and you hear about it, and that's exactly how I imagine Gandalf. That's exactly how I imagine the dwarves and Bilbo and everything. And it was to see everything come together was just outstanding. This movie, in and of itself, I mean, the battles were incredible. You could tell that they had a number of years to advance the technology and the CGI to make the final battle at the end, that much more intense. Not that it was, I'm not going to say it was any better than anything from Lord of the Rings. It was its own style and its own battle, and really held its own, I think, to the others. I got huge love for all these movies, as you guys know. I absolutely love them. For me, I don't know if I can. Gosh, do I give it a 5? I mean,
is it on the same plane?
Is it on the same plane as? See, that's tough because it's different in its own way. I think for as much as I enjoy it, I've got to give it a 5 out of 5.
There we go.
For me, so absolutely loved it. Everybody delivers on all fronts. We get a lot of redemption stories. Seeing Smaug was absolutely incredible. To finally see a dragon that, like you said, can talk and have facial expressions and everything was incredible. And we got a little treat seeing Smeagol again, so that was nice.
Yeah, that was in the second one, correct? Well,
yep.
For me, this was a great ride that we went on. We obviously went through the Lord of the Rings in extended version, saw everything we needed to see. So then coming back to the prequels, you're wondering how they're going to turn out. Like obviously, everyone knows with Star Wars. Get that out there. And so you want to see how it comes to be like. And then he kind of hinted at the adventures, correct, in the first Lord of the Rings, and we had no idea what he all did and what he all accomplished, and he didn't think it was gonna be that much. And then you watch the 3 movies, he's turning invincible. He's doing fighting. He's got his sword ready and drawn. He's
toe to toe with
running
the
up
dragon.
mountains, just talking to Smaug like and trying to trick him, and Smaug's like, whap, you know. So for me, I love this prequel series. It was great. A lot of love for everything that went into, like, you know, Peter Jackson, after he probably did the original Lord of the Rings, is like, all right, here's another tall order.
Bars up here. You know?
Yeah, let's see what I can do with this. And I think he knocked it out of the park. All the actors, once again, crushed it. The fighting scenes were amazing. They started off hot. They had a hot start with, you know, getting rid of Smaug out of the get-go. And then it told a nice little story into an epic battle to where the King Thorin finally saw the light, like, oh my God, this stuff has been controlling me. Just like, you know, the original with the ring and everything like that. So for me, of course, I echo your sentiment. 5 answers.
All right.
These little fist bumps.
All right.
I very much enjoyed these 3 movies. You know, not long ago, we, you know, finished wrapping up the Harry Potter movies, which, as far as I'm concerned, are some of the best movies ever made, if not the best movies ever made, as far as, I'm not going to say just ever made, which they're up there as far as the best movies ever made, but as far as lessons. And so coming off this, the bar was set really high as far as, like, what can I take away from this movie? What is this movie teaching? It's not an uncommon topic, the topic of, hey, look, you know, don't put material value over your friends and family and the people that you care about. And I think they did a really good job of telling that story here. But they also did a good job of telling the story of how that can change people, because Thorin, you know, throughout the whole trilogy, this was about family honor. It was about the way of life for the dwarves, and how quick that changed to, oh, I'm not giving away a single coin. So you had somebody who was a very noble person and wanted to take back the mountain for what was seemingly all the right reasons, who changed on the turn of a dime. So that was interesting. Battle scenes in this movie I thought were fantastic. Some fun scenes in the earlier movies with the barrels down the river and things like that. So a really epic journey. Andrew, you bring up an interesting point, and when Bilbo talks in The Lord of the Rings about having gone on adventures, you know, you're like, well, what kind of adventures?
Yeah, because you see him as an old man. You're like,
And
oh,
it's,
what are
you know, and
doing?
it's an interesting thing, because, and I think if there's anybody who's younger watching this, it's, you know, when we're young, we all think old people are, like, boring, right? Like, oh, your parents are boring, your grandparents are boring, and you have, like, no way to wrap your head around all the crazy adventures they were on, and you just don't think, like, it's hard to conceptualize that they were young once like you, and understand what it means to go out and really live life and experience these crazy things. So, you know, we saw Bilbo in the first 3 movies as this old guy, and, you know, whatever, and you learn that, man, when he was young, he went on and did some wild stuff. But I thought they were really good movies. I love Luke Evans.
Yeah.
And I think maybe years ago I may have seen something that he was in these movies, but like at this point when we watched them, when he first made his appearance, I had completely forgotten. So he was a really good addition. My favorite actor in these films, at least these 3, hands down, and probably my favorite actor of all the Lord of the Rings, if we included those. So I really like seeing him in these movies. But yeah, they did a phenomenal job. I can't go 5. I have to go like 4.9. Okay, I have to go 4.9. And you know, of course, my brother, who's now like trying to guide he was like, oh, you guys are doing a YouTube thing now. You gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Which he's got the best.
We've all experienced him telling us
he's
that.
He's got the best of intentions. And I said it along our Lord of the Rings journey, and I said it a little bit here. My 2 older brothers, especially my brother that's just a few years older than me, is a huge fan of these movies. And he had kind of ahead of time, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but, you know, they're not quite as epic as the originals, you know. So, and I agree with that sentiment. I do think they're fantastic movies, but I do think maybe some of it is, you know, sometimes a bar is set so high that it's just hard to follow up. And granted, this was a prequel, but it still followed
It's
Lord of the
own
Rings.
story, yeah.
And I know that can be so difficult sometimes. So the fact that they released the original 3, set the bar really high, and released 3 more, and still did a really good job, that I think is what's most impressive about these movies, is because maybe they weren't quite as epic. Like, look, the Two Towers was like, for me, that one, and that's what a lot of people said. The Two Towers was like, just wild. It's really hard to make something as epic as that, and nor do you want to just try to recreate those battle scenes because do it all. Well, we did these wild battles, so obviously they did some really cool stuff here.
You got to do the research and how they fought differently in this one versus the previous.
Yeah, it totally loved Andrew bringing up Tremors, and it was similar to the creature.
Similar.
I think in Tremors they had more of a single hinged jaw.
Yeah,
where this was more like Demogorgon.
It looked like they had like they could grab.
Yeah, like a multi-hinged,
because they were
jaw.
like busting rocks.
It was very much and they can't break rocks, of course, as we all know in Tremors. That's how you stay safe, is on a rock. But I digress. Phenomenal movies. Again, I'm gonna go 4.95. I loved these movies, not quite as much as I loved the 3 Lord of the Rings movies, but a phenomenal job. And again, me sitting in a chair where these movies came out so many years ago, and I was just like, these are not my thing. The dwarves and and the elves and stuff. And again, we did it for the channel, but I'm really glad that I went on this journey. It's weird when we do some TV shows and TV shows and movies and stuff like that. But some of these series like this, I don't mean to come across like being cheesy, but it is kind of like going on a journey, and it's like.
It's fun to get out of your comfort zone. A little bit of what you
and I wish, I'm past the point of being a kid reading these books, Yeah. And I wish I would have, and it's one of those things where, like, now that I'm a dad, my brothers were both into reading. It wasn't my thing, and not to look, and I've said this before, I'm a very visual person. That's not to sound lazy or whatever, but I think I absorb things better. But now, like, I really have hopes that, like, my son reads like the Harry Potter books, and my son reads like the Lord of the Rings books, and I want him to experience like these classic stories that I didn't in the manner that you did. Like, sorry, I saw him as a kid. Like, no, we don't get to watch the movies until we read the book. Until we read the books first. And being a parent, maybe I can have a little bit of control over that. But
Daddy, I had a nightmare. I was in Mirkwood, and there were spiders everywhere.
You don't get your protein shake till you finish that chapter.
Again, I will say, and I've said this a few times, I'm not so sure that my brother should have been letting his kids watch this at like 3, 5, but you can tell him it's just fantasy. It's just a movie. It's not real.
They're really friends in real life.
Yeah, but what a fun journey to go on for the 3 Lord of the Ring movies, and then of course these 3 Hobbit movies. And I am a little bummed out that it was our last trip to Middle Earth, but as I understand, Amazon's got something brewing.
Yeah,
and there's a pretty strong chance that I think you'll be seeing us
maybe discussing,
watching, doing some reactions to. I can't see not doing it.
Yeah, I can't see not
doing it. So drop a comment below.
Now we're gonna wait another 20 years and then we'll do
drop
it.
A comment below. Let us know. I will say this in leading in. We've heard some really mixed things, mixed things about Amazon's story they're going to tell. Most of what I have seen is Amazon original productions, and from what I understand, this is an Amazon original production.
Yeah.
Most of what I've seen has been pretty good from Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, they don't drop the ball very often.
No, they really don't. And it's a big story to tell. Right, and especially because from what I understand, these aren't based off of Tolkien books.
Oh, they're just using
the source material to create their own story. So this is new for everybody. So drop a comment below, like I said, of course, on how you felt about this movie, but also, you know, give us a little bit of lead-in for what you think about the series coming up, because I know I want to do reactions to that,
Yep.
and I don't think anybody really needs to ask as to whether somebody else is going to be interested in watching.
It's so awesome. Be something I've never seen before. It's going to be great.
Seen before.
Get done. So what you're saying, 495 would have, if Rudy would have been in it, would have been a 5. Is that what you're saying was the missing link for the Hobbit movies?
I mean, how are you going to give a 5-star to a movie that doesn't have a guy who spent 2 years on the practice squad?
These guys you'd have to work with.
So there you have it for the Appleton Oak Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, the answer. Good night, pals.